Alright, hello, welcome to what is definitely probably going to be the last Bakuproject related video for the foreseeable future. Either until another update drops, which will probably not be for another year at least. Or, I don't know, something major happens with the project. I'll have a section later on in the video that kind of goes over why I'm kind of done with this game for now. But I figured why not make one last, like, hoorah video. One last kind of, hey, here's some deck ideas if you're really invested in this project. Like I was at the start. Like I was when I first heard about it. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Buying some cards? We have a good selection.
Alright, so the first deck I want to show off is Perma Boost Preyas. Why the fuck are you in there? Anything else gets swapped around? No, okay. I hate the trade. I hate the trade system right now. It fucks with your decks. It fucks with decks that you have any deck you have active. Ugh, I hate it so much. It needs to get fixed, or else people are probably not even bother using the mechanic anymore. At least like the 5 people who are still playing this. Again, I'll have a whole segment at the end of this. Going over why I'm not fond of this project as I used to be. But yeah, here's the deck list. Here's kind of an idea of what you need if you really want. If you're one of those lazy ass people who just copy and paste other people's work and don't use their own brain and intelligence to make their own decks and have fun with the game in their own way, but you just copy and paste everybody else's work because you're unoriginal. So here's this. I'll get into a battle and I'll kind of give a general idea of how this deck works. Jenny, where are you?
Hey, it's your funeral.
No, yeah, I don't think so.
Field open.
I don't think so, Jenny. I highly doubt that statement. Alright, that's, you know what? I'll put the 100 down just because. Don't want to get too crazy yet. Hopefully Jenny plays nice. Who do I have? I have Full Burst, Source Glow, Heat Wave. Yeah, let's send out Saurus. Why not? Probably would have put his character card out, you know. Easy win, easy kill, but it's like that's not the point of this deck, at least. Not with low G-Power Bakugan. Alright, you got a Dive Mirage immediately? Usually Dive Mirage. No, okay. Put the 200 out. Battalion.
Bakugan, stand.
We'll hold off on ability cards. Don't want Jenny to start stacking her shit real quick yet. Really? No, it's River. Okay, that I can work with.
Gate card open. Ability card activate.
Uh-huh.
Ability card activate.
God, this is another thing I hate about this game.
Ability card
Okay,
activate.
fucking fuck you, Jesus. I was here first, so.
Ability card activate.
Fucking hell. You hate me? Not?
Ability card activate.
Another thing to add to the list later. Jesus Christ. Oh, and that. That's bullshit too.
Set. Bakugan brawl.
And here's the first glimpse of what this deck is really about. Permanent boosts all around.
Gate card. Set.
Now, Jenny, if you'll let me frickin' put my Hades out.
Brawl.
Thank you. I don't have
Bakugan,
fucking
stand.
Thor cannon, but I don't need to. I do have reinforcement, which is nice.
Bakugan brawl.
So
Bakugan,
here's where this
stand.
deck starts getting stupid. Again, this is a perma boost, so the whole idea
Ability
is
card
big numbers
activated.
for the entire game, not just one single battle. It's like, well, hey, you know, it's like, well, Helios and Drago and all that shit can do that stuff too. It's like, yeah, but there's always a catch to theirs. You don't get Dragos plus 200 permanently. You don't get,
Ability card activated.
you know, you don't get that plus 150 for Helios without drawback. There's minus 75 for the rest of your other two Bakugan. But this deck doesn't have any drawbacks aside from low G power. That's just because I don't use it that much. Because I don't play this game that much anymore. Yeah, no, we're not doing that today. Sorry, Jenny. Fine, what are you doing? No, I'm not gonna do that. Fine, I'll use a fire cannon now. Okay.
Ability card activate.
Can I get Sora Cannon, just to show off how stupid this deck is? I could always wait for my second power charge.
Set.
Or Rapid Fire. Rapid Fire would be nice. Sora's just put it back
Bakugan
there.
brawl. Bakugan stand.
Yeah, we'll Sora's Spell. Why not?
Ability card
Double.
activate.
The permanent plus 100 now. We'll do Robo
Ability
Battalion,
card
because why not?
activate.
There's Rapid Fire, I can use that later.
Ability card activate.
I could kill the turtle now.
Ability card activate.
She doesn't have anything. No dive ranges.
Ability card.
Oh, she does. Okay. You're going to Saurus? Really?
Ability card activate.
Okay then. No, that was. I hate that.
That's our skill talking.
Oh man, the list of shit I don't like about this game anymore is starting to really add up. Alright, well, that was not exactly what I wanted, but if it's effectively you're just stacking a bunch of
Hey,
plus
it's
one,
your
a bunch of plus
funeral.
50s, a bunch of plus 50 ability cards that are permanent, allowing you to get to, you know, 500-600 G power pretty much for the entire game.
Gate card set.
Oh, hi Reno. Sour Cannon. Alright, I have Sour Cannon, I have Repelling Reinforcement, I have
Bakugan brawl.
Force Glow, Sour Cannon, Repelling Reinforcement. Okay, I have all three of the main ability cards in this deck that you actually need.
Gate card set.
Alright, sure enough. You are.
Brawl.
That's not gonna be any nightmares.
Bakugan stand.
Jenny, hit me.
Gate card open.
You throw your Bakugan on my gate card, have nothing, and then just immediately fucking die. Oh, yet another thing to add to the fucking list of shit that I need to talk about later.
Bakugan Brawl.
Oh, don't worry. I'll get to that. I'll get to the shit I really don't like. Now. Stuff that kind of just ruins this game.
Gate card set. Bakugan Brawl. Bakugan stand.
But 2 battles per deck just to get a general idea of what the deck is about, and then
Gate card
go from there.
set. Bakugan Brawl. Bakugan stand. Bakugan Brawl.
Jenny, fuck off!
Bakugan stand.
You're gonna dive Mirage or Aqua Javelin, and then we're gonna just be repeating the same fucking
Ability
shit over
card
again.
Activate.
That's fine, I'll deal with you later. Can I? Okay.
Ability card activate.
Fine, yeah, I'll save that for later then. Yeah, fucking, thanks.
Ability card.
Really? Jesus. The amount of shit I need to talk about.
Activate. Ability card.
Mm-hmm. Alright, you know what? Fuck it. I'll talk about it now. This is stupid. AI should not be doing this. This game should not be ability spam. I'm sorry. That's not how Bakugan should work. I don't care if it's anime accurate. That is bullshit.
Gate card open.
That's why decks like this can do so well. That's why this deck I've built works how it does. It's because that's all this deck relies on is just ability spam. Ability spam and just fucking
Gate card set.
the AI in general is just either way too fucking aggressive or way too fucking passive.
Gate card
There is no in
set.
between for this AI for some fucking reason. I don't know what dev was on when he thought that, you know, making the AI more aggressive
Bakugan
made them
stand.
more fun to fight. I'm not saying make them the pathetic, you know, pathetic sideshow that they basically were. Yeah, that turtle's gonna get really fucking big, but so can I. I have a lot of answers to that turtle,
Bakugan
which makes this
stand.
even funnier. Alright, so I got my hand I want, so you know what? Fuck it.
Ability card activate.
Now I can really show off what this deck can do. That's fine.
Ability card activate.
Oh, that works. That works perfectly. Because... let's see here. Actually, well, Hades did his job, which is surprising to say, I'm gonna be honest.
Ability card activate. Ability card activate. Ability card activate.
Alright, sack Hades. He did his job. Source is sitting at a nice 580. Retalian's at 490.
Brawl.
Okay.
Bakugan stand.
Best part about this?
Ability card
Okay.
activate.
You know, that's... Oh no, plus 50.
Gate card
Oh
open.
no, minus 50. Not like I'm playing fucking Pyrus.
Ability card activate.
I can just get all of that you just took from me back in one ability
Ability
card.
card activate.
Fire Tornado was so stupid. Alright, back at the 580, there we go. Because I really want to fuck with my opponent. This is the kind of bullshit that pirate that you should not be allowed to do in this game. I'm sorry. As funny as it is against the AI, against another person, or against yourself, this stuff is not fun. It's not fun to just sit here and watch your opponent sack 5 ability cards on one Bakugan. I mean, look at this. This is stupid. It's funny. Even funnier if I have a second Sora cannon. But I should not be allowed to do this. Like, there should be a limit to how many ability cards you can play per battle. Else you're just going to get a 730 Saurus, and then there's nothing you can do about it because you don't have anything, because you're playing Aquas.
Skill talking.
The Ventus can't do shit against this deck because it's permanent. So if they backdraft it after all the boosts, it doesn't mean shit. It's there. Like, they have to deal with that eventually. They have to fight that head on eventually, and they have nothing unless they play fucking Hades themselves.
Hi.
Like, I'm sorry, like, you should not be allowed to spam 7 possibility cards on a single Bakugan. Like, that's not fair to the opponent who probably doesn't have an answer to that kind of shit. Like, I'm sorry, there are no Bakugan in this game currently. There's no ability cards in this game that can counter a Perma boost deck. That I can think of. Like, okay, you can gunlock it, you can backdraft it, but okay, but you have to deal with that. It's still there. That 730 Saurus should have been backdrafted or gunlocked. Is still gonna be there. It's still gonna be a threat you have to deal with eventually, unless you have a fucking Mind Ghost. And unless you're playing Brontes, why are you gonna run a fucking Mind Ghost? That's another deck I want to make, but there's no point. There's no point in making any more decks for this game, because what am I going to play against? The NPCs all the time? No, the tournaments are always busted. That's all anyone ever wants to play, and people who do play it are, you know, 720 base G-Power, and I'm not going to fight that, no fucking thanks. Alright. Okay, fucking, this is not the deck I built.
Hi.
Where's my 330? Here he is. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Okay. We're sharing guy. You. Any ability cards in here that shouldn't be. Okay. And here's the second deck. Here's the second deck for the video. Okay. Here's the second deck. It's Preyas. It's a Preyas deck. It is not good. This is the single worst deck I think I've ever made in my entire life of playing card games.
Field open.
But it's funny. Or at least it would be if attribute change wasn't so goddamn fucking random. And again, yes, I know, enemy accurate, but is it really? Like, tell me, seriously, is enemy accuracy justifiable for bullshit like ability card spam? Stacking 7 ability cards on a single Bakugan. When in the show they only use like 2 or 3 at most per battle.
Bakugan brawl. Bakugan.
I can kill the siege. Okay, cool. Kill siege early, don't worry about Aqua then later.
Gate card open.
Ability card activate.
Okay. That's still activate Dream Battle? Does, okay.
Bakugan brawl. Bakugan stand. Baby.
Oh, it's a spin of the wheel. Oh god. Oh, fuck. Kill it now.
Ability card activate.
Really?
Ability card activate. Baby. Ability card activate. Baby. Ability card activate. Baby.
Gate card set.
Gate card set. Bakugan brawl.
Sorry if I'm not talking now. It's just
Bakugan, stand.
that was stupid. Sorry, that was just stupid. I mean, I feel like if a command card after being, you know, activated, which is weird because I think Training Battle, from what I can tell, is the only command card that, when activated, is the only one you can't really counter unless you're in the battle still on the card. Most command cards can be neutralized. Yeah, that's
Card
cute.
open.
How about no?
Gate card. Set.
Come on, Preyas.
Bakugan,
Aquas.
brawl.
I want to use a triple note for once. Just
Bakugan,
once.
stand.
Oh, fucking damn it.
Gate card set.
Yeah, these are correlations, not diagonals.
Gate card. Set. Bakugan brawl. Bakugan stand.
Gate card set. Bakugan brawl. Bakugan stand. Gate card open.
Yeah, fucking damn it. Yeah, see, this is why this deck is not that good. You think you have a plan, and then Preyas fucks you. And then Preyas, you know, attribute change doesn't fucking work, because you can't force change the
Bakugan
attribute.
stand.
Like, I have an Aquas. I should have been able... Like, you can't force change the attributes, period. Like, you have to rely on Preyas' base attribute he's on the board as, in order for any of the ability cards for him to work. Except for fucking boost
Bakugan
health.
stand.
No, you leveled up mid-battle. Okay, cool.
Ability card. Activate.
Fucking lucky I have like 30 of these
Ability
cards in this deck.
activate.
Ability card. Activate.
Why is this card draw?
Ability card. Activate.
Ugh. This is what I hate.
Ability card. Activate.
Seriously? See? There's an Aquas walking around the board. This Preyas can turn into Subterra, but the fucking ability card won't fucking work. Thank you, fucking game.
Bakugan brawl.
This needs to change. Like, you need to be able to use this kind of shit. This kind of deck should be able to work. It would be fun.
Gate card open.
I can't triple no. There's nothing on the fucking board.
We rock.
So there is the probably single worst deck in the entire game.
Hi. Hi.
Alright, so I was going to do a second battle, but no, fuck. I remember why I don't use this deck. It's as funny as it could be if the fucking ability cards worked how they probably should with Preyas. They would probably be a funner deck to use, but honestly, at this point, it's not worth it.
Buying some cards? We have a good selection.
So, I'm just gonna go ahead and speak my mind why this is the last Bakuproject video for probably the foreseeable future, probably even if an update drops, unless it's a significant one that changes a lot of what I have against this game now. I used to really think this game was like top of the line, like fan game material, like, you know, Joy of Creation is for Five Nights at Freddy's.
Good selection.
But no, this isn't
Ah,
Joy
looking
of Creation
any
for Five Nights at
Bakugan?
Freddy's. This isn't
It
Mask
will
of
be
Power,
loved.
which is still in development from what I understand. Just it's, you know, a really ambitious game, and as far as I'm aware, there's not a Patreon you need to subscribe to. It's going to come out for free on Steam. Let me repeat that again. A game that is, as far as I'm aware, still in development. Just, you know, development hell, because it's a really ambitious project. Made by a team of people who are dedicated to the IP of Bionicle, making Mask of Power. They're going to release it for free on Steam. As far as I'm aware, there's not a Patreon you need to subscribe to. There's not, you know, yeah, they probably should update a little more communication with like, hey, this is what we're currently working on. They were doing that for a while there, for a couple of months when I first heard about Mask of Power. But I mean, the YouTube channel they use to, you know, update people on the project is still uploaded to, not very frequently. It's like, I think it's like once every like 3 or 4
We have a
months,
good
but
selection.
at least they're still, you know, uploading content saying, hey, yeah, we're still here.
Open.
We're still working on stuff. We're just, you know, not done with our project. I mean, hell, even the fucking gameplay trailer for Mask of Power was way more polished as a fucking dev build demo of the game, from what I understand from that video. The comments and the, you know, the description. Something that a lot of more people should read. It gives you a lot of context, if it's not just fucking advertisements, which most YouTubers use it nowadays, which is stupid. So my gripes with modern YouTubers are abundant, way more than this game. But where do I even start? I already discussed the ability spam. It's ridiculous. You should not be allowed to just sit there, dump your entire hand onto one Bakugan. I am definitely certain outside, okay, maybe season 2,
Buying some
but in
cards?
season 2 they also had
We have a good
fusion
selection.
abilities, where you used 2 ability cards in conjunction with each other and they comboed, which there is a single, from what I understand, there is a single set of ability cards in this game currently, Boosted Dragon and Melt Flare, for base Dragonoid, who have that combo, or if you use Boosted Dragon, you can then use Melt Flare for an additional plus 150, which is 250 in a single turn for base Drago? Cool. Boosted Dragon's now at 2 now, but it's not stackable, so you don't get that plus 200, you only get the initial first one. Which, I mean, that's fair, but it's base Drago when fucking Neo exists, with Strike Dragon and Burning Dragon combos, where you can get a plus 200, and then effectively one-shot anything on the board. And if you can't kill it, you can at least jump to its card and make use of your other abilities. Like, I'm like, that's cool. That's nice. That's a nice little quality of life thing. It's like, you know, okay, let's give some of the Bakugan some new abilities. Let's give them some, you know, movement. But I shouldn't be able to, when I do jump over to that ability, to that gate card for my opponent, I shouldn't be able to dump my entire hand in just one tap their Bakugan. Right? It needs to be, like, in the show, I guarantee you, in the show, they maybe did that, I don't know, what, 4 or 5 times over the course of, like, 90-something, like, 70-something episodes? Like, 80 to 90 episodes, I think? I don't know. I don't remember how long Bakugan, the original season of Bakugan is. But it's... I don't care for this current build of the game. Like, it's cool. Yeah, Hades, Neo, all of my favorite Bakugan are in this game now for the most part, with a couple of exceptions. But I mean, it's totally not like they don't have fucking models that exist. Like, fucking hell, it's like, Lord forbid Griffin has a 3D model. Oh wait, he
You
fucking
really love
does. I
Bakugan,
have
don't
it.
you?
I have all
see
of the
Bakugan
models
almost
Dev
every
does.
day.
Everything you see in my collection, I have stored on my computer as a 3D model. All the Bakugan that are actually, you know, usable, Drago, Scorpion, Saurus, Helios, Hades. I have those models. I don't have the same textures. I don't have a Pyrus Hades model. I don't have an Aquos Dual Hydronoid model, but I can make those because those are just recolors. Those are just texture edits. That's easy enough. I've done that plenty of times. Hell, I made a custom Ventus Terraclaw because he doesn't actually exist as a 3D model. It's like, this is easy. Recoloring shit in Photoshop is easy. Anybody can do that with, you know, one or two tutorials if they're that brain dead on how photo editing software works. Recoloring is easy. Time consuming if you want to do it right, but easy nonetheless.
You really love Bakugan, don't you? I see you looking almost every day.
I'm not a game dev, so I don't know how easy it would be for dev to implement a card limit to how many you can use per battle. So you actually have to think. See, I don't think players currently actually use their brains playing this game. Like, it's so brain dead of a game with such a... Let me just go into the shop and show you how ridiculous it is now.
Looking for a new Bakugan?
Okay, so look at the shop, right? 320, 310, 390, 300, 290, right? And the prices, right?
We have a good selection.
7,500 for Brontes, 3,000 for Ravenoid, 3,500 for Hylash, 550 for Cyranoid, 5,500 for Cyranoid, 2,750 for Warriors, 4,000 for Reaper, 4,000 for Tripod, and then you go to actually click on them, and it's 310, it's 38, 5,900, 6,100, 6,900. You see, this is false advertising. Yes, okay. You're not gonna find a and by the way, just if you're curious, 320 is the highest you can get out of the shop. You want anything higher, you gotta spin the wheel. But I would not spin the wheel because there's an ability card in the game currently that has not been patched at all. That breaks the fucking game. I wonder if it's in the shop now. I can probably show it off. No? Okay. Fine, but there's a card in the game currently, an ability card in the game that is so easy to get. It's one of the cheapest cards in the shop. You can get it from the wheel, and it's Photon Tail. Now, while it's not, you know, the end of the world if you get the card, it does cause a lot of fucking problems that makes whatever character you get it on basically unplayable. And you basically have to make a ticket in the Discord for a mod to eventually inform the guy who has a dump account where people can hopefully put those abilities. Last I checked, I haven't been on the Discord for like a few months at this point. It feels like work and some financial problems, some financial stuff on some financial related stuff on my end. That's entirely my fault. But it's to the point now where this, like 5-6 people, 10 on a good day. You know, this is peak. This is about middle of the day US, you know, middle of the day North America, Midwest North America time. Right? It's like 10 o'clock right now when I'm recording. It's about 10:15 in the morning when I'm recording this. Yeah, at 10:15-ish in the morning.
You really love
Pokemon,
don't you?
Midwest America. Normally around this time there'd be like, you know, 70, 80 people on, but now it's like 20, 25 at best.
Looking for a new
and that comes down to the gameplay loop. And the gameplay loop is basically you log in, you make or pick one of your decks, you go fight NPCs for 30, 40 minutes, an hour and a half, like in most cases. You get HSP, you come to the shop, you buy more shit, you make more decks, you fight NPCs. Occasionally you battle in a tournament, which these like never fucking work. Because the people who can reset the tournaments are basically never fucking on anymore.
You really love Bakugan,
that's another thing. The fucking mod team basically has either no power in game to do anything of value aside from reset the tournaments, or rotate the shop, which they haven't done from what I understand in like fucking months. After the initial like boost in popularity for a couple weeks, and then everything just died down because, you know, people realize that this game is still a boring slog of a grind. It's not Warframe. It's not like Warframe or Minecraft or Deep Rock Galactic or any of those games that have a hefty reliance on repetitive gameplay for their gameplay loop. It's not those games where they have, you know, incentives to do so. Warframe that has missions that you get, you know, resources to build better weapons and better warframes and upgrade your you know, money and resources to upgrade those weapons and warframes. Deep Rock Galactic is the same way. You earn resources and you earn money to upgrade your gear, to get them stronger, to do harder missions, to do more, to get more loot, to upgrade your stuff even more. Right? It's a reinforcement loop. There is a reason to do those missions over and over and over again. Bakuproject doesn't have that.
I see you looking almost every day.
Right? Bakuproject doesn't have a satisfying gameplay loop. It's the same three things. Log in, battle NPCs, buy stuff from the shop. 4 if you count making decks, but like after you make a deck that has fucking 420, 380, like once you get to like the 380, 390, 400 G base G power, none of the NPCs aside from fucking Spectra. And if you have the right cards, if you have the right cards like Reflection Booster, Strike Dragon, Pyrus Burst, Fire, like all these really good ability cards that can basically one-tap anything in the game once you have a high enough G-Power, no one's going to want to battle you, especially new players, because they're going to have 300, 320 at best, in most cases. $260 at worst. For starter Bakugan, their starting decks are going to be like hot fucking garbage. With gate cards at least. Because it's going to be like a plus 30, a plus 50. Cheering Battle. Battle Sham, which is basically useless unless you're playing Pyrus or Ventus.
I see you looking almost every day.
Oh, the customization system is, I mean, it's neat. There's a little more stuff, at least as far as like the hair. But, and you can, you know, pick from the NPC voices, at least all the popular ones. You know, skin color and all that shit, but like, cool. You can form teams. I have a team. None of the members have been on for like a month, so. And this is the first time I've been on in about like a month and a half myself. There's a leaderboard system, which means basically jack shit.
You really
Who would have guessed?
Bakugan, don't you?
This doesn't do anything aside from put you up there on the board. And it's like there's no reward for being in the top layer. There's no benefit aside from a cosmetic for your Bakugan on your shoulder to be rainbow colored, to get like a rainbow swirl effect around them. It's not an incentive for me, at least, to hop on and grind for hours to become number one. Oh, and don't get me started on the player base. A lot of the players, especially the ones who play this game religiously, oh boy, a bunch of egocentric pricks. There are people who I have encountered personally, who I have had a conversation with, who treat this game like it's a fucking national crisis if they're not top dog, or the game isn't the way they want it. Ironic, given I'm bitching about stuff myself, but all of my complaints are easily fixable with just a couple of balance changes. Limit the ability card use per battle to like 3. I would say use the ability, let the opponent, make it to where you can only use 3 ability cards per battle in a brawl. Right? Okay? So you're not dumping ability cards, and you're not making this absolute unit that your opponent just cannot answer. A la Pyrus. Pyrus. Fucking Darkus if you play it right. Anything short of Aquas, basically. Aquas is like the only attribute where you don't have to worry about it as long as you are, you know, aggressive. You know, you keep them in check. You keep them from using their overtime abilities. Or you counter those overtime abilities by killing the Bakugan those are used on. Fucking Pyrus. Pyrus and Ventus have a lot of ability cards that can just fuck over everybody else. And that's fine. No, not all the attributes have to be the exact same power level. Somebody has to be the stinker. Somebody has to be the shit attribute that nobody uses. That's just how balance works. It's the same with freaking fighting games. It's why heavyweight characters, for the most part, at least if you're a Smash player, you know this quite well, heavyweights are usually hot shit, no matter how good the moves themselves are. It's their slow movement, they basically can't get out of a stun lock combo until they're at like 200-300%, and by that point they're already fucking dead because of the knockback. And that's...
Looking for a new Bakugan? Pick one that you like.
One person working on a passion project is fine. I'm not saying Dev is wrong for wanting to make his ideal Bakugan game. What I do have a problem with is the lack of communication, on average, at least since I started playing, or been a part of this, or been aware of this project, at least.
Hello.
The mod team, at least the big ones that can actually do shit in the Discord and in the game, having very limited ability to do that shit that they should probably be able to do. And I'm sorry, like, the rose-tinted glasses have fallen off for this project already. They fell off a while ago, I just gave it the benefit of the doubt because there was Season 2 shit. And Season 2 is my favorite season. My gripe with this project now is the lack of direction Dev has. Why are we adding Season 2 shit when there's still a bunch of Season 1 shit that can be added when, you know, that stuff exists? Like, there's a bunch of Season 1 models, characters that have yet to be added. Terrorclaw, Griffin, Base Hydronoid, the evolutions for all the Guardians. Hell, there are models out there that, yes, they do cost like $30 because they're custom by somebody else, but they're available to the public to download, to buy and use for Mantris and El Condor. That is almost every Bakugan, and there's even people who have made Wyvern, Alpha Hydronoid, Ultimate and Perfect Dragonoid. Hell, I have Ultimate Drago. I have an Alpha Hydronoid model I'm working on. It's not fair to the player base. That's why so many people have quit. And if Dev watches people's videos and he watches mine for some reason, here's a few things you could do in a relatively short amount of time, including having a full-time job, having a life, you know, an actual functioning life, an actual reason to not work on this project 24/7. Here's some things you can work on in the background, aside from a small update. Just a small little quality of life update. Limit the ability card used per battle during a brawl to like 3 or 4.
You really love Bakugan, don't
Yeah,
you?
it's not going to fix the problem of stuff like Perma boost Pyrus, because people are going to still run decks like that. Who would have thought people would break a card game? It's not like Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not like Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't fucking solitaire at this point, where you're just sitting there watching your opponent play their entire deck while you're sitting there with like 2 cards on the board. because they freaking negated or blocked your entire board, except for those two slots. And they're not even monster slots, they're freaking trap cards. That won't do shit and won't save you, so you have to concede anyway, because you're not gonna win the fight, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is fucking unbalanced as fuck. Isn't fun to build decks for anymore, because they basically tell you how to build the deck. They tell you what cards you need for the deck and how to play it. There's no figuring out as you build it. Which is part of the reason why I at least play card games, is for the deck building. Because I find that fun, a fun little challenge to be like, okay, what is the most jank but functional deck I can make? Because I like jank decks. I like decks that have a gimmick. And that gimmick is usually really fucking stupid. But it's fun because when it works. Because it's different, right? It's not the meta. I can see the appeal of meta, you know. You want to win, so you want the best. That's fine. I don't give a shit about that. To each their own in that regard, but it's when the meta is the only way to play. And yeah, that's not a problem in Bakuproject yet. It was in the previous update. If you never played that previous version, Leonidas, Laserman, Dual Hydra, or Vlad if you're one of those people who just like big numbers. Those were the only like 4 Bakugan you'd ever see people use. Because they were high base G power, they had busted fucking abilities that could basically one-tap your opponent. Unless you had higher base G power, which was usually never the case in PvP, which is partly why I don't even fucking bother with that in most games, because it's never balanced, it's never fair to the newer player. The newer player isn't given a reason to go to play PvP in most games, right? It's like, oh, there's a PvP section, but we're not gonna balance it. We're not gonna make it fair for the new guy. We're just gonna throw them into the middle of the fray and wish them the best of luck. And Bakuproject pretty much does the same thing, dude. It's like you log in, you load up, you have your starter deck, you immediately want to go into a tournament or whatever. Because this is an always online game.
Looking for a new Bakugan? Pick one
Which
you like.
has its pros and cons. For something like Bakugan. It makes sense for Bakugan, but also there's some drawbacks to that. Just watch any video of the old version of the game. There's like crashes every like 10 minutes, it felt like. Fucking God, there's just so much wrong with Bakuproject. Fundamentally, like in like the base systems in this game do not work. As new stuff gets added. Yes, you have more cards in a deck, but that means more abilities just get spammed out in like the first 2 or 3 turns, and you're left with like a Bakugan that's at 250 G power base. And it's not fun.
You really love Bakugan, don't you? I see you looking almost every day. Buying some cards?
Attribute changers really do need a game-specific mechanic where you can force change them, regardless of what their current attribute is. It'll make them a lot more versatile. It'll make them a lot more used. They'll be, okay. A full deck of 3 Preyas who use attributes you can pick would mean you can double triple node, right? Obviously, there needs to be some exceptions, right? You can't force change of a triple node. You have to, actually plan it out. Still, you still have to strategize around the triple nodes. Definitely keep those only at 1 copy because fucking balance. But there's also cards like, Sora Cannon, Full Burst. It's like, okay, those cards are restricted or limited to 1 or 2 copies, respectively. But it's like, that doesn't mean you can't. And there is some, play around. You can play around with Full Burst. Right, it's Hades' generic ability. You can use it for any attribute, so there's plenty of ways to play around it. But between the sudden change of directions towards Season 2, when there's a bunch of Season 1 guys that can be done, that could have been added instead. The lack of communication, the fact that there's such a roundabout way of getting access to the game through having to link your Patreon to Discord, having to wait for a moderator to accept a ticket. It's like, okay, I can understand the amount of like security so people aren't like
Pick one that you like.
stealing the game, but it's like you already have a system in place for where they need a key in order to even make an account for the game. So you already have a roadblock. Like if people download the game and they don't have a key, they can't play it anyway, unless they use a friend's account. Which even then, it's like that's the friend's account. Like you already got that person's money, right? Like okay, people can share accounts just by sharing password, username and password information.
Ah,
That was no one's gonna stop. No one's gonna stop from that, right? Like no one's gonna look unless the two people who are sharing the account. And here's the funny thing, right? I have seen the moderators say, mods and devs and mods and staff on the Discord even say like, you know, don't share account information. It's like, okay, but what if you're like what if it's like a family member, right? It's like, what if it's a family member who doesn't, you know, have income, like, you know, a preteen younger sibling who you want to share your passion with, right? Like, you're gonna make the preteen who doesn't have a job, who doesn't, you know, have an allowance maybe. In like most cases, most people don't even have. Most kids don't have allowances nowadays. Because, you know, why would you give the kid the freedom to learn how to earn money in exchange for work when you can just give them access to an electronic for 7 hours?
Good selection.
It just boggles my mind. My parents, thankfully, don't do that with my brothers, with my siblings, but I know a lot of. I worked with kids where that was the reward for doing something good was electronic time. No other form of reinforcement. There was no candy. There was no going outside. There was no playing a certain thing. Like it was video games or iPads with the kids I worked with. That was really it. It's like very, very, very few kids I worked with for the few months I worked at the company I was at. Yeah, and that's another thing. There's no reinforcement to play this game after the first like few hours. After you play for like the first 2 or 3 hours, you've already done everything in the game. You've battled NPCs. You probably battled another player or two. You've probably spun the wheel. You hopefully didn't get photon tailed.
We have a good selection.
You saw how ridiculous the stupid random prices in the shop are compared to the G power that's being offered. You logged off and you forgot about the game even existing. You forgot you were subscribed to the Patreon, so you got charged $10 randomly out of nowhere for a game you don't even play actively enough to warrant that $10. Minimum, by the way, there's a $20 tier. Do not pay $20 for this. This is not worth $20. I don't give a shit how beloved Bakugan is. This game is not worth $20. Especially as I suppose it's the beta, where this is more of an alpha.
You really love Bakugan, don't you? I see you looking almost.
Sorry,
every day.
this is a playable beta.
Buying some cards?
Right.
We have a
You're
good
beta
selection.
testers. It's like, okay, but beta testers are usually like this small group of like, you know, people who know what they're doing, right? They're usually like a small group of friends or a small group of people who are willing to, you know, who you're. And that's another thing. Bug testing. There are so many problems with how Dev has approached bug tracking.
Looking for a new Bakugan?
The beta testers, right? You find a bug, you report it on the Discord in the dedicated bug reporting section, right?
Hi, how can I help you?
And you have moderators and players who are taking it upon themselves, for the most part, to test certain things, right? They see what cards work, what don't, what situations do cards work in, what situations do cards not work in. But you don't have anyone
Buying some
dedicated
cards? We have a
to
good selection.
breaking your game.
Looking for a new Bakugan?
What's the point of a
Pick one
beta
you
test
like.
if you don't have people who are actively in
looking
charge
for a new
of
Bakugan?
doing
Pick
everything
one
in
you
their
like.
power to cause a problem in the
Buying some
game?
cards?
And I don't mean harassing other players and charging exorbitant prices for cards that you can get in the shop if you're patient enough. No, I mean people who are dedicated to figuring out what combinations soft block you. What NPCs and card combinations just fucking break the game and cause the client to crash or the server to crash. Photon Tail is a great example. Everybody who has been around for the past month since this update dropped, at least. I don't remember how long this update's been out. I haven't played it forever. Photon Tail is a card to be avoided because it can break your character. I don't remember or care about to what degree, but I know it can somehow. Dev has pushed hotfixes out before to fix the shop, but he has refused to remove Photon Tail, to my knowledge, from the game. He removed Venom, aside from the wheel. The wheel's a great example. I think, at least from what I understand, you can still get cards that don't fucking work from the wheel. Chaos Griffin's ability card, who, by the way, is not in the game. Griffin, you know, a Bakugan who was in the original Battle Brawlers game, who has a 3D model and a Chaos texture for that model. Not in the game. No. We have Chaos Hydronoid. We have Chaos Hydronoid. We have Chaos Dual Hydronoid. We have Chaos Helios. We have Chaos Hades, whose ability card is fucking broken. That's Photon Tail, by the way. Photon Tail is Chaos Hades' exclusive ability card. And it doesn't fucking work, and it's not even that good. So there's no reason to get it anyway, even if it was functioning. Just... That's why I said at the start of this video that this is going to be my last Bakuproject video, probably for a long time. Even if another update came out.
I see you looking almost every day.
Unless it fixes the fundamental problems this beta currently has.
Buying some cards?
This is just gonna be a bookmark in Bakugan's history of someone tried to make arguably probably one of the best fan versions of the original Battle Brawlers game. The best this game will probably be known for is that one guy who made a spiritual successor to the original Battle Brawlers game.
I see you looking almost every day.
That's all I can really see this becoming if it doesn't get, if a lot of the big core problems with the base mechanics don't get fixed. There has to be a limit to the amount of ability cards you can use. There has to be a better reward system for battling NPCs and other players aside from money, the in-game money, to buy more shit. The shit in the shops, prices need to be fixed. They need to be prices you can be like, okay, I need X amount for X thing. Like in the original Battle Brawlers game.
Pick one that you like. You really love Bakugan, don't you?
The G power should correlate to how expensive the Bakugan is. Yes, you can still have random G powers in the shop. That's great. And keep it limited to 320 base from the shop. That's great. I like that change. I don't like the random prices. I don't want to pay 10k HSP. I don't want to pay 10k HSP for a fucking Garganoid. That's for a freaking 280 Garganoid. That's stupid. No one's gonna pay that.
Hello. Looking for a new
The ability cards don't have random prices. The gate cards don't have random prices. The special ability cards don't have random prices.
You really love Bakugan, don't you? I see you looking almost every day.
Like, what's the game plan here, Dev? What?
You really love Bakugan,
Like,
don't you?
yes, you're throwing stuff at a wall, see what sticks. I get that. Beta, it's kind of what you do in a beta. Right, you kind of see what the players like, what the players don't like, and you change it in the next update. That's fine. But when you updated the deck limit, did it never cross your mind that people are going to sit there, dump their entire hand in one fight,
Buying some cards? We have a good selection.
and either run out of steam during that very first fight, or absolutely dominate their opponent, making it completely unfair for the other player. And not making it worth the investment. What's the game plan, dev? What's the roadmap? What is your end result for this game? Cool, you want to add everything from Season 1, as close to anime accuracy as you can get.
You really love
Without
Bakugan,
absolutely
don't you?
busting
I
the
see
game
you
with
looking
Bakugan
almost
like
every
Perfect
day.
Drago. That's fine. I can get behind that. That's what appeals to me, is the idea of I can play this game like it was shown in the original show. By season, if I prefer Season 2's gameplay, I can play Season 2's stuff. If I like Season 1 better, I can play Season 1 stuff. But, and I mean, this
You really
current
love
hybrid of the
Bakugan,
two,
don't you?
where you have
I see you
Season 1
looking almost
we have
every
Season
day.
2 Bakugan in the Season 1 gameplay format, is cool. I definitely think that should stay, is letting you use newer Bakugan in every Bakugan in every format. That's cool. I would love to see I would love to see a fucking Juggernaut or Saurus take on a fucking Mechagon. As much as I hate Season 3 and 4, personally, I would love to see Dragonoid Colossus versus fucking
Buying some
Saurus or
cards?
something. That would be
You have a
fun.
good selection.
It wouldn't be balanced in favor. The Dragonoid wouldn't have shit against the fucking Dragonoid Colossus or
Ah, looking for a new
Darak
Bakugan?
or a
What do you
Mechagon
like?
or Helm or the Maxis Bakugan. But they would still be funny. They'd still be for really cool moments of like, that's a Saurus at like 3000 G power and it's fighting fucking Maxis Dragonoid. Awesome. It's like, that stuff is cool. That stuff is fun. But you can only do that so much in the current state of the game to keep people invested. You want this to be always online. So is Bakugan Dimensions, and well, we know how that turned out. I seriously think you need to have a client version, right? A version of the game for clients that is offline,
Buying some cards?
where they can grind
You have a
and
good
all that shit.
selection.
You can, spend time grinding. They have their own private little world, their own private little save on their computer, where they can, test, Minecraft. Like, I'm gonna use Minecraft as an example here.
Ah,
Minecraft
looking
has
for a new
single player
Bakugan?
and multiplayer.
Pick one that you like.
The base game is the same in both versions, aside from, servers, server exclusive plugins and shit.
Just in time. Let's do
But the base gameplay is the same in both. You don't hop into a server,
You really love
an
Bakugan, don't
online
you?
server
I
in
see you
Minecraft
looking
with
almost
all your
every
shit
day.
from your single player world that you've spent years on. The two saves are different. There's the save on the server that you just started, and there's the save on the client that is dedicated to that person's computer. Yes, you run into the problem of people
Looking
hacking
for a new Bakugan?
files
Pick one
and
that you like.
cheating.
just in time. Let's do this.
You really
But-
love Bakugan, don't you? I see you looking almost
From what
every
I
day.
understand, people have already started doing that with the server being completely online anyway. People have already started cheating the system, and you're already getting
You
pissed
really
about
love
it.
Bakugan,
You're already
don't you?
calling them out,
I
and you're
see
already
you
saying,
looking
"Hey,
almost every day.
someone's doing this. To see who it is, so I can, so they can be punished accordingly." What do you think Minecraft play? What do you mean? What do you think of Minecraft servers? What do you think? What do you think most online games have to deal with? They have to deal with cheaters and hackers all the fucking time. It's just the nature of online games. Like, people are gonna hack the code, regardless of how secure and how safe you are. I mean, look, Game Freak and Nintendo,
You really love
one of the
Bakugan,
biggest
don't you?
gaming companies in the
I see you
world, one of
looking
the
almost
biggest
every
game
day.
developers in the world for fucking Pokemon, got hacked, and almost everything they've worked on for the past 20, 30, for the past almost 30 plus years has been released to the public.
Looking for a new Bakugan? Pick one that you
Right?
like.
Big corporation,
Ah,
thousands
looking
and
for a new
millions and
Bakugan?
millions of
Pick one
dollars,
that you like.
billions even, aren't safe from people, from bad apples, from the bad apple, getting in their shit. I don't see this game lasting very long at all. I don't see your Patreon surviving very long. I don't see this
Buying some
project
cards? We have a
really
good selection.
surviving in its current trajectory.
You really love Bakugan, don't you? I see you looking almost every day.
I don't think just adding whatever you feel like at any given time is going to solve the inherent problems this game has. Okay? Like, yeah. You'll have a surge in popularity every time an update comes out. That's given for every game that's online. Every game in general. Every time a new update comes out, the player numbers surge for like a couple weeks, and then it dies back down. TF2, Warframe, Minecraft.
Buying some cards? We have a good selection.
That's just the nature of games, and that's okay. A game does not need to have millions upon millions of players 24/7. That's unrealistic. I don't care what big corporations and the pro players say needs to save the game. If the base fundamentals of the game are not fun, what's the point of playing said game? I've ranted long enough.
You really
I've
love
ranted.
Bakugan,
I've
don't you? I see you looking almost every day.
I've ranted long enough. It's been a fucking hour. Jesus. I've ranted long enough. Sorry, I've repeated myself like
You
300
really
already.
love Bakugan,
But
don't you?
I'm done.
I see you looking almost every day.
I'm done with this recording. I did what I wanted to do. I showcased a couple of decks, and I spoke my mind about the current state of the game and some stuff that needs to fucking change. I'm done with Bakuproject. Probably with Bakugan in general for a while. I'm just done.
Ah, looking for an... Hi, how can I help you?
The community is fine. Nothing wrong with them.
You
It's
really
just
love Bakugan, don't you?
Bakugan
I see
doesn't
you
have the
looking
same
almost every
appeal
day.
anymore as it did, you know,
Ah, looking
20
for a
years
new
ago when I was
Bakugan?
like 10.
One that you like.
You know, 15, 20 years ago when I was like, you know, 5 to 10 years old, somewhere in that range. I don't fucking remember. Like, I still like it. I still think it's a neat concept. I still have some Bakugan. I have a small little collection still on my, just sitting on one of my desks. But like, this isn't a game, an online game, nonetheless, that requires a Patreon subscription to even get access to. With a dev who doesn't communicate. I don't care if you have a full-time job. You still gotta say
Hi,
something. It's
how
like,
can I help you?
hey, work's been crazy. I haven't had time to work on updates. Just something like that once in a while. Even just once a month. Something. Not half a year of silence. Give us sneak peeks. Alright, give us something at least once a month to keep us invested.
Ah,
Put out a
looking for
small
new
patch when
Bakugan?
you're able
Pick
to
one that
fix
you
some of the
like.
big problems that are currently in the game, like Photon Tail, the ability card spam, the amount of HSP you get from battles, tournaments just always fucking breaking, so people can fucking shut up in the Discord about it. Give the moderators give more of the moderators a bit more power so they can actually, you know, do shit while you're not actively online. Let more of the moderators fix the tournaments more frequently. Let the moderators rotate the shop more. Let more of them rotate the shop. Let more of them host tournaments. Let more of them reset the wheel for players. If shit does go wrong, it's like let them reset a player to get them unstuck.
Buying some cards.
Like,
Can I help you?
I get not
Ah,
trusting other
looking
people.
for a
I
new
get
Bakugan?
that. I
Pick one
don't
that you
either.
like.
I don't trust anybody. But even I can see that you do need someone more than June to do this kind of shit. Because June isn't
looking
on all
for
the
a new
time.
Bakugan?
He
Pick
can't
one
be.
that you
He's
like.
human. And if he is, he's not sure as hell playing this. And I mean, cool. I mean, yeah, like, he's probably like the one guy you actually trust. You need more, Dev. You need more people. yeah, solo devs have doing some really cool games, some really interesting concepts, and have gotten really successful because of it, but
You really love Bakugan, don't you? I see you looking almost every day.
there's a negative feedback loop from me currently of how you're handling this, Dev. You're charging money for a playable beta. That's not inherently wrong. I'm not saying you're in the wrong for doing that, but you're also saying that the full game, when it comes out, is going to be free. But it's going to be always online. And that's it, as far as like this game itself, right? Like, yeah, you want to add all the feature Bakugan, but it's like, I can't stop ranting about stuff like that. It's like, what's the game plan, right? How are you gonna have a free game that's always online on a server if you have to pay for that server every, you know, that you can use your own personal funds every month to pay for the server? Like, what are you gonna keep the Patreon up? Are you able to still support the project? Even after the full release, if we even get that far, I highly doubt we'll make it to a full release at the rate we're going. Like, by the time a full release of this game comes out, at the rate it's going, people are just going to brush off to the side and say, oh yeah, that exists. And if that's what you're going for, Dev, cool, keep doing what you're doing, keep making the game you want to make. But it's like, you're losing players so fast after an update. Your player base usually steadies out to like 20 to 30 people on average in the Discord and in game, if even less than that most of the time, on a fucking good day. What's the point, Dev? Where are you going with this? Communicate with the community. Show us what you're working on more than a couple of sneak peeks every like 7 months. I don't care
Buying some cards? We have
if you're going to sit there working on whatever you want to add to the game. With some minor changes, the player base has stated that needs to be done, but as far as a lot of people I've seen talk about it, and I've talked to myself, this game is kind of dead in the water with how it's currently being handled.
Looking for a new Bakugan?
There's another fan project I haven't touched in a while, but I think does the solo dev thing much better. And it's called Digital Tamers 2. It's a Digimon fan game. It's in the style of the original V-Pet, of the traditional V-Pet style that Digimon is known for. Now is pretty much known for. It's polished. It stays true to the source material and does its own thing at the same time. It's really cool. It's really neat. I don't play it very often because it's extremely grindy, and I just don't have that time right now to play those kind of games. But like, it fixes a lot of the problems I have with Bakuproject specifically. Just it's not fun anymore. Dev, this routine is old. It's done.
Looking for a new Bakugan?
Like, you keep working on this if it's something you really are passionate about working on, but don't expect like what is the point? I'm gonna keep asking that. What's the point of everything you're doing? Like, why do you keep adding shit like this? Where's the balance is all over the place. Some Bakugan are like fucking top tier, unstoppable monsters, and others are basically pathetic, like pointless to use. Cool, that's fine. Not everybody has to be a winner, but some Bakugan are just that much better, and everybody can use them. And then you're asking why people are quitting so fast, and it's like, well, because your game isn't entertaining. Like, it's a cool, quick little thing on the side people can do once in a while, but it's like there's no reason to keep playing after the first day or two.
We have a good selection.
Once the novelty wears off, people are gonna stop playing. Right? That's the same with every game. But I think Bakuproject is a big example of how to not handle that. Right? Like, yes, Bakuproject has been around for a while for a single person project, which is amazing to hear. But there's no incentive for people to stay after they've already gotten their 400 plus G power Bakugan.
You really love Bakugan, don't you?
I mean, hell, people, they get to rank 1 and they're like, alright, cool, I did what I wanted to do, and then they quit. Like, when just, being the top player for like a day is the only thing people want to do, and then they quit and they stop playing until the next update. When that is the only incentive, you don't have a gameplay loop. You have a
looking for a new Bakugan?
Grind.
Pick one that you like.
Grind to the end of the earth for hours and days on end. Become the unstoppable force that no other person wants to battle. Become basically untouchable. Get so high far up there in point count that no reasonable person with an actual life could catch up to you, and then you're just on the board forever when you don't play the game anymore. There's just so many things wrong with the fundamentals of the beta currently that I don't see this game surviving outside of a small circle of people. And I'm not going to be a part of that circle if this game stays the way it does for its beta. If this current beta is anything to go by for future updates, this game isn't going to last long term. Like, it's clear you want this game to survive, right? You want people to play this game. You want people to have fun again. Enjoy Bakugan in their older ages. And that's great, but it's not going to do that if the gameplay loop is not fun. You can have the most polished animations, the most balanced game in the world, and none of that matters if the gameplay itself is not fun. I don't give a shit about the graphics. The graphics could be hot fucking garbage for all I care. The game needs to be fun. Right? It needs to have an identity in its gameplay that makes people keep coming back regardless of how the game looks.
Buying some cards? We have a good selection.
Oh, and don't get me started on the optimization. Like, damn, some of the frame rate drops I get in this game on a fucking computer dedicated to playing games is abysmal. That might be a Unity problem, but, like, still. I don't care much for anything outside of 60 FPS, but, like, 60 FPS should be, like, the base standard for most games nowadays. And if people can't run 60 FPS, it might either be because they have older hardware, which, I mean, I can't blame them. Computers are fucking expensive, so I don't blame people for not having the highest tier gear. I mean, hell, my laptop that I got, that's like top of the line gaming laptops, it's outdated. It's been outdated for like a couple of years now, comparatively. Like, I have a Gen 4 RTX. I think it's a 3060. I have. We have like 420s and 480s now for NVIDIA, and it's like, I don't have that kind of money. I'm not gonna drop like 10K for a fucking computer. No, I'll pay 2K. That's the best I'm going for now. I don't have that kind of money. So I'll end it here. I'm done ranting. This is the last Bakuproject video. Unless something drastic changes, I'm done. I'm done supporting this game. I'm gonna cancel my Patreon. I'm gonna just keep this game on the back burner in case one of my friends wants to play it with me. Wants somebody to play with for a couple of hours. I'm done. Dev, I'm sorry. Like, I can't say this game is the greatest thing I ever made when there are so many fundamental problems with it. Yeah, okay.
Hi, can I help you?
Yeah, this is the game that has made my channel a bit more known. Like, people, I have about 150, 160, I'm like 150 plus subscribers right now. This video is probably going to cause all of them to leave, right? Unsubscribe and all that shit, but it's like, that's fine. I don't care about my subscribers if all my subscribers want is for me to play a game I no longer enjoy.
Ah, looking for a new
I'm gonna probably go
Pick one that you
towards what I really want to do with this channel, and that's
Hi, can I
upload
help
whatever
you?
the fuck I feel like,
Ah,
whenever I feel like
looking
it,
for a
whenever I
new
have the time.
Bakugan? Pick one that you
So,
like.
Dev, if you've seen this and you made it this far, there's my 2 cents. Okay, there's my 2 cents on this, and I feel like a lot of people are getting to
Buying
that
some
point too. I mean,
cards?
just
We
look
have a good
at
selection.
look at the screen, and tell me, like, are these the player numbers you want for this game? If it is, if you want like a small player base that just plays consistently, cool, you have that already. But if you want this game to be the best it can be,
Buying some
you need to
cards?
change a lot of the
We have a good
fundamental core
selection.
aspects of the game to be much more player friendly. So that's it for me. Next time you see me upload, it'll probably be like a small animation test, another small animation test, or a redo of an older video that I want to fix, or I want to redo because I've learned more since that video. But until then, this is it for Bakuproject on my channel.
Bakugan, don't you? I
You don't
see
like
looking
that,
almost
you
every
want to try to
day.
convince me to keep playing, you know, here's how to, you know, you want to point me towards why you're not, a video that says why you're not enjoying
Ah,
Bakuproject or
looking
any
for
of
a
that
new
shit.
Bakugan? Pick one that you like.
Don't bother, don't link those channels to me in my comments. I'm gonna delete them. Or I'll just not give a shit. Like, I don't respond to the comments as it is unless they're like really important ones, and that's like only regarding a video that tells you how to take a character you made in a program called Vroid and put it in the source filmmaker so you can animate it, make your own animations with your own custom characters, and that's probably one of my favorite videos of all time on this channel. I love that video. It's
Ah,
not the
looking
best,
for a
but
new
it's
Bakugan?
something I
Pick
was
one that you
passionate
like.
about, and I still think it's probably one of my better videos,
Ah,
if not my
looking
absolute
for a
best
new
video on my
Bakugan?
channel as far
Pick
as
one that you
how
like.
much I like what I made. Like, yeah, my Bakuproject videos get pretty high views,
You
pretty
really
consistently.
love Bakugan,
That's
don't
just
you?
because
I
of
see you looking
the
almost
popularity
every
around the
day.
game itself. It's not my personality. I don't have a personality. Like, there's so many video ideas I have, but it's like, I can't upload those kind of videos because I'm a Bakuproject YouTuber. I play Bakuproject, that's all I do. I do Bakugan shit, that's all people care about on my channel.
You really
And I'm
love
done with that too.
Bakugan,
Like,
don't
I'm not
you?
gonna upload
I see you
Bakugan
looking
shit
almost
anymore unless
every
it's an
day.
animation. And even then, it'll probably just be a test animation to test some kind of form of animation. Like, maybe I want to do more stop motiony, choppy animation style, like I did with my most recent animation, Leonidas one, where Omega Leonidas just grabs a computer off the table. It's not perfect. It's not.
You
It
really
has no
love
audio. It doesn't
Bakugan,
have any of
don't
that
you?
shit. But
I
it's
see you looking
it's good. I
almost
like it.
every day.
It taught me a very fundamental form of animation technique. It taught me a form of animation technique that I can use to not only streamline my animation process that in a style that, yes, while not polished at all, it's really, really bare bones, is easy. It's a nice introduction for me to get into the more complex animations that I want to do eventually. It's a nice stepping stone. It's a nice starting point.
Buying some
The reason I
cards?
use Bakugan
We have
models
a
is
good
because those are what I
selection.
have. Those are what I have on my computer. I rig those models myself. They're not perfect. Yeah, I've uploaded a couple of them to the Source Filmmaker workshop. They're not polished in the slightest. No, I don't do commissions. I'm never going to do commissions. That's fucking stupid. I make what I want to make, and what I make is what I'm in the mood to make. I don't make stuff because it's popular. That's why I don't upload
Looking
Bakugan.
for a
That's
new
why I haven't made
Bakugan?
my entire
Pick
channel
one
this
that you
Baku
like.
Project shit. 'Cause I'm not passionate about this
Looking
game.
for a new Bakugan? Pick one that you
At least
like.
not anymore. So, ciao. Yeah, watch the entire hour and a half. If you watch this entire unedited hour and a half, nearly hour and a half video, kudos. But that's it. That's it for Bakuproject on this channel, until something drastic happens with the balance or the basic gameplay mechanics.